if you want more money, if you want to get rich, if you want financial independence, what normally happens is you watch a YouTube video and they tell you what you need to do. They tell you the 3 secrets, they tell you the strategy, the key, and it's all about things you need to do or things you need to learn how to do to make more money, to get rich. And I started thinking, well, what if it's simpler than that? What if it's easier than that? So in this video, I'm actually going to be breaking down the 5 things to stop doing. Everyone's like, do these 11 things to get rich. Do these things. Here's what you have to do. Well, what if you already know what you need to do? There's just some things you need to stop doing. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 things that you must give up. And when you do, you make more money. This is Jake with JakeDucey.com. If you haven't yet, be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. It's right there down below. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind so that you can start to attract more financial success into your life. So be sure to check that out in the description, in the comments right there down below. If you enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and bell notification. The bell notification is what notifies you for new episodes. And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed today's episode. Now, here's the 5 things to stop doing if you want to get rich. Number 1, you have to give up not believing that it's possible, so you never really embrace your goals in the first place. So many people, they like the idea of it, right? But there's a difference between wanting and actually believing that it's possible. A lot of people want money, right? And that might be you. You might want to improve your financial life, but there's a difference between actually believing that it's possible. And what happens is, and this isn't like about magical thinking, right? This isn't like just if you believe it's possible. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you look around at the world, 9 out of 10 people do not have what they want financially. That isn't a generalization, that's a statistical fact. 9 out of 10 people die with less than $10,000 and virtually no financial assets. The average American can't come up with $500 within 24 hours for an emergency. About 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck. So the reality is that most of the people that you will see and interact with in your life do not have what they want financially. Therefore, you are subconsciously trained, just like Pavlov's dogs, when he would ring the bell and the dogs would think the food was coming, and eventually he wouldn't bring the food, ring the bell, and the dogs would salivate still. We're trained the same way to look or think about money, but then believe we can't get it. And you have to drop that idea entirely. Otherwise, you never actually embrace not only the desire to get really rich, but you never go for it. Because why would you go for it if you already knew it couldn't happen? It's a self-protective mechanism. You're protecting yourself from failure. You're protecting yourself from investing the time and money into something that isn't going to work out. Because why would it work out? Because it doesn't work out because I'm one of them. And that's how our society has trained you financially. You have to drop the idea. Drop it entirely. Realize that's what Steve Jobs says. Nobody is smarter than you. Nobody's smarter than you. It's not that hard to make $100,000 a year. It's not that hard to become a millionaire, especially in an inflationary environment that we're in. And I may say that to you and you go, oh, yeah, no way. I thought the exact same thing. And so what I did is I just told myself it probably wouldn't work out anyways. I went into big ideas, big goals, big projects, thinking it probably wouldn't work out. And that's what most people do. And that stops you from coming up with better ideas. It stops you from giving your everything. And it also just subconsciously programs you to actually have a limit on the results that you're getting in your life. Drop the idea, literally drop the idea that you can't create financial freedom, and start saying this simple phrase: money comes to me quickly and easily. Money comes to me quickly and easily. And every time your mind goes back to that place, use it as a prompt, just like a GPS of a car. As soon as you make the wrong turn, it recorrects. Use this statement as a recorrect mechanism when your subconscious wants to go back into this idea of, well, it's not possible. Because if you believe that it's not possible, you're never gonna take the shot. You're never gonna take the risk. You're never gonna start the business. You're never gonna keep going after you get knocked down 3 times because you already know it's not gonna happen. Drop that idea. Money comes to me quickly and easily. Money comes to you quickly and easily. Embrace it. You're good enough, you're smart enough. It has nothing to do with you. It's just a very simple equation. Is that you have $1 million idea in you that can spark and ignite people's lives in the world. And if you embrace that idea or that dream, you will be financially compensated for it. Number 2, give up a scattered life. We're conditioned to be disorganized. We know very few people that are successful. That's how the masses work, and that's why the 1% always get richer, because 99% of people don't really know people that are successful. And then in addition to that, if you don't believe success is possible, why would you write your goals down? So give up that idea and get clear about what it is that you want and write it down. Write down how much money you want to make in a year and your plan to accomplish it. Write down who you want to be in life. Like, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be for your kids? 15 years from now, when you look back on your life, who do you want to have been? If you create yourself and you create your reality, who do you want to be? Write it down. Write down how much you want to make in a month. Write down how much you want to make in a year. Write down how much savings you want to have at the end of the next 12 months. Write down all your big financial goals. Over the next 12 months, tape it on your wall and read it every day, right? And there's like a more of a metaphysical dynamic to it. If you're reading something every day, it's going to go into your subconscious. But let's just look at it practically. Most people wake up in the morning and they just react to life like animals. And that's how we're programmed for you and I to live. It's just like we wake up and we're just here. But if you wake up and you read your financial goals every single day, and then you spend your waking hours creating that reality for yourself, you're on purpose. And when you're on purpose, you're no longer disorganized. And as soon as your mind and your life becomes organized towards a clear objective, which is to achieve your financial goals, you will hit them. So pull out a pen and pad and write down your financial goals on a piece of paper, put them on your wall, and make them a reality. Number 3, old friends that don't help you with your goal. So this video is 5 things to give up to get rich in 2022, and you gotta give up your old friends for number 3. You gotta give up, you don't have to be mean to them, you just don't go as often and don't stay as long. Think about the people in your life that you spend a lot of time with that actually aren't on the same wavelength as you. They want to stay where they are. They will not contribute to you moving up in your life and creating more success in your life and achieving your financial goals. Those are the people you want to leave behind. Number 4, give up the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset. There's a book about that, and the book was all about how you can either have a fixed or a growth mindset. And a fixed mindset is a mindset in which you think you're stuck the way you are. And that's kind of how we're conditioned in our world. But the truth is, if you give up this fixed mindset, you can learn the skills you need to learn. I'm not great on video now, but by all means, I was freaking terrible on video not that long ago. In fact, I'll play a clip from one of my first videos ever. It'll pop in right now.
It means that we're following our heart. Our heart doesn't know right and wrong. That's our mind. Our mind wants to label the good and bad and the right and wrong.
As you can see, I was so uncomfortable on camera. It was a skill I learned that I got better at. I'm not great at it now, but I'm better than I was before. And whether it's a skill with accounting, whether it's a skill with sales, whether it's a skill with videos, whether it's a skill with guitar, with art, whatever it is that is a habit or skill you want to develop to create more value in the world and achieve more financially, you can develop that skill if you give up a fixed mindset. And one of the ways that I always talk about doing that is start by reprogramming your subconscious. If you haven't yet, be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. It's right there down below in the description and pinned to the comments. Number 5, give up the idea that your past controls your future financially. If past controlled future in the world, we wouldn't have airplanes, because the Wright brothers would have been like, well, guys, we're bicycle mechanics and we didn't go to college and all these smart people couldn't figure it out. Look at the past. All these smart people funded by the government and all these big people, they couldn't build airplanes. Why would we be able to do it? So you wouldn't have airplanes. And you just go down the list and almost nothing great would ever exist if people looked to their past to define their future. But one of the marks of a broke person is someone who determines their financial future based off of their past. It's important to remember your bank account is just a bunch of light photons that are flitting and fleeting. In fact, there are a bunch of light photons that are flitting and fleeting and decreasing in purchasing power at a rate of, I don't know, something maybe around, in reality, 10% a year due to money printing. So these light photons are actually getting smaller and smaller in your bank account. That's all they are. They're light photons. And most of those light photons that define how many digits are in your bank account were largely controlled by the ideas that you inherited from other people about who you are and what you're capable of in your life. None of it is true. So your past doesn't determine your future financially. And when you let go of that idea and say, I can create my reality, I can create my reality. And you take 100% personal responsibility for the digits in your bank account, the commas or lack thereof in your bank accounts, the debt that you have, how much money you make on a monthly basis, and you'll go, well, it's easy for you to say you make stupid YouTube videos. Or you don't go, well, I could do that, but my mom did this to me when I was 11 and I didn't go to the right school and I have too much debt and I had this bad person take advantage of me, right? If you can't take 100% responsibility for the light photons in your bank account, you can never change them. Because if you can't take responsibility and say, I've either created, promoted, or allowed my financial circumstances that define my life financially. If you can't take 100% personal responsibility and say, I've either created, promoted, or allowed all of it, then by default, you've given up the power to change it. So when you look at the debt that you have, when you look at the money you have, when you look at your tax returns from the last year and you say, I created that, you also, by default, grab the reins or the steering wheel of your financial life and you can guide it to the future. I believe in you. You're smarter than you think. You're more capable than you think, and you can make more money than you ever thought possible. Repeat this. Money comes to me quickly and easily. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit the like button, get my free success hypnosis right there down below in the description and pinned to the comments. Hit the subscribe and bell notification to get notified for new videos. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Give me a comment down below for the good old fashioned YouTube algorithm. Be sure to check out another video and let me know what's your big goals over the next 12 months. I'll see you next time.